Good morning. It's a nice crisp 8 degrees this morning, and we got like an inch of snow. From where, I don't know. I didn't realize it was supposed to snow last night. I don't think any of us did, but we got an inch of snow on the ground, and it's supposed to continue snowing for a little bit this morning, so we might end up with a little bit more. But right now it's just kind of a even inch everywhere. It's nice peaceful snow. Roads aren't the best, but that's all right. Got the bobcat started. We're gonna start feeding this morning. So we got a high of 10 degrees today, and it's been like fairly decent warm, kind of like mid-20s, low 30s for last week. But starting today, like yesterday was like 35 degrees and sunny. It was absolutely gorgeous. But today we got a high of 10. Tomorrow's a high of like 12. Wednesday's a high of like 18, I think, and getting into the single digit negatives at night. So it's not as cold as it could be. We've definitely had worse this time of year, but it's cold again, and at least we're getting some moisture out of it. I'd rather have cold and snow rather than just a really dry cold, because then it's like, man, is this even really winter, or are we just living in, I don't know, the desert? I don't know. But anyway, it's gonna be chilly for a little while. So yesterday, after chores, Dad went out. I didn't film, but Dad went out and set out bales for our bale grazing again. We had enough hay out there to get to Tuesday, which is tomorrow, but we didn't want to start the tractor and deal with all that when it was going to be so cold this week. So we decided to do it yesterday when it was like 35 degrees and sunny. So Dad went out there and did that. So we got another 10 days to 2 weeks, anywhere in there, worth of hay set out for the cows. So we got that done. And this past weekend was the last weekend of the Black Hills Stock Show in Rodeo. So I'd be curious in the comments, let me know how many of you guys made it out to enjoy the festivities of the Black Hills Stock Show, got to see a rodeo and do all that fun stuff. So let me know down in the comments. So I'm gonna give you guys an update on the shop work, how it's been going. So we've got this tractor in here that we had on the grinder that broke a couple months ago. We've got all the parts for it except one part. They sent us, we wanted to replace this gasket on this front cover because it's leaking on the bottom. So we wanted to replace that while we've got it all tore apart. But they sent us the wrong one, the wrong gasket. I guess there's two different engines that come in these 3020s. One of them was kind of like for like row cropping, I guess. And then the other one is just kind of for all-purpose use. And we've got the other one. They sent us the cover for the row cropping one. And we've got, this is a totally different front cover on this engine. So we gotta wait for that new gasket to come before we can do anything with this tractor, because that's literally the first thing that we have to put on and replace before we can do anything else. So I thought I'd give you guys an update on that. An update on my pickup. It's been in the shop for 2 months as well. But I got it all put back together, and I drove it for a day. And as far as water pump, power steering, all that stuff, it was perfect. It's good to go there. But the only thing is, now my transmission cooler lines that run up to my intercooler in the front of my engine, there's two lines and they're leaking. And I think they're prone to do that. Because when I got the power steering lines, they're supposed to be 100% guaranteed leak free. They're not factory ones. They're different. They've got like the steel braided line instead of the rubber factory lines, so they should be better. Those aren't leaking yet, but I've only drove my pickup a day since I put them in. But I ended up getting those same kind of steel braided lines for my transmission intercooler as well. They're pricey, but hopefully they fix my problem. These lines are only like, I think they're only like 3 or 4 years old, and they're already leaking. I had them replaced once already. And they replaced them with the factory ones, and obviously they didn't hold up to the test of time. So I'm waiting on those, and then we can get this pickup out of there, get this tractor out of here, and then we're gonna start pulling in some trailers and working on some trailers. I think the first thing we're gonna work on is our little car trailer that you guys see us use all the time in the summertime. We're gonna pull it in. I personally want to take all the wood off, put a new deck on it. And get it back to working good there. And then we're going to, the trailer lights quit working on it, so we're going to rewire it, because that wiring's just a mess. So we're going to rewire it, get the trailer lights working properly, and then I would really like to put a new hitch on it as well, because the hitch that's on it, the actual locking mechanism of it, doesn't work the best. So it'd be nice to get a new hitch on the front of it that would be a little easier to work with. So that's gonna be our next project once we get these two things out of the shop. That's actually what we were gonna start with this winter, but we didn't end up getting to it because my pickup broke down, and then this tractor broke down. Well, it's afternoon now, and it kind of never stopped snowing. It's still kind of spitting snow a little bit right now, and it snowed like all morning. So we got like 2 inches of snow on the ground, which is crazy. I didn't know this was coming. I don't think anybody knew this was coming. It just kind of showed up, and here it is. So I'm just down here checking out the sheep. Looks like I got plenty of hay. I'm gonna break some ice for them, get them a little bit of water here, and welcome back to Antarctica. Nope, just South Dakota. It's cold and it's snowing again, and it's a good time. And it's supposed to be like 11 degrees today, 11 degrees tomorrow, and then on Monday and Tuesday -4. and -6 as the highs for the day. So that's chilly. So we're gonna do a little bit of preparation this weekend for the cold. Even though it is cold right now, we're gonna prep for the cold that's coming, because it's gonna be worse than the cold that's right now. Good times. So since today's the warmest day I'm gonna have for a while, I'm gonna try to get some of this ice out of the pig's water, their water lick tub thing here, because it's gotten to the point where it's full of ice and it only holds like 2 gallons of water. So I just have to like pour 2 in, let them drink, pour 2 in, and let them drink, you know, just keep filling it up. So I'm gonna try to get some of this ice out of here. It should break out of there fairly easy, and then hopefully it'll hold at least like 5 gallons of water, and then that'd be good for them. Dad's working on feeding, and I'm gonna start the waters, get them going. I know I've said this before for you returning viewers, but for all the new viewers and all the new subscribers and everything, well, first of all, thank you guys so much. This is awesome. And second of all, what I wanted to say was, when it's cold like this, the best thing for these cows to be doing, these heifer calves to be doing, is eating. Because when they're digesting food, that's when their body is the warmest. So we're gonna make sure that everything is up and eating. Those calves in that windbreak, I'm gonna go over there, kind of push them over, make sure they get a bite to eat this morning, because that's gonna warm their bellies up, which is gonna warm their entire bodies in turn. That's what's gonna keep them warm in this cold weather like this. So we're gonna make sure everything gets something to eat this morning and make sure they're staying warm. So these calves, we're just feeding them a ration of ground hay, and then we've got some milo and sunflower screenings mixed together that we bought from the local elevator. So that's giving them that for grain, and we're really trying to feed that up so we can get some fresh stuff in our bins. But then that ground hay, we have a guy come in with a custom trailer with the tub on it and the arm to load the hay, and he comes in and grinds the hay for us, and that's what we feed these calves. So I guess I haven't even talked about this for a while anyway. So for all the new subscribers as well, we calve in May. Our cow herd starts calving in May. And then I've got some sheep, and I've got 1 pig that are bred, and they'll farrow and lamb at the end of April, beginning of May, right in there. It's kind of when they're both bred for. I guess the only reason I say that is because I was just thinking, boy, I'm really glad we're not calving right now. So this is a pretty small water tank here, so it obviously freezes a little bit easier because it's less water. And we really don't have that many calves drinking from it. So check out. It's got a perfect little spot for the calves' head to go down there and drink, and the rest of it's froze. But it still holds a decent amount of water, so it must not be, it's not froze all the way through, but like just definitely around this opening it's froze though, other than that one little spot. So I don't know if this is just me or if you guys kind of think about this stuff too, but I'm just standing here watching this water run, and I'm thinking, how in the world do I run the air conditioner in the summertime? You know, have you guys ever been, you know, like it's really bad blizzard and you're out doing chores and you just think in your head and you're like, man, I am never going to run the AC again. I'm going to appreciate the heat, you know? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. There's got to be somebody else that thinks that same thing. I'm just standing here thinking like, how, you know, in the summertime we try to find the shade to stay cool. In the wintertime I'm standing here trying to get as much heat off this sun as I can, you know? I don't know, kind of weird, but that's just what I'm thinking about while I'm standing here watching the water run. how well you guys are gonna be able to see this, but like, just look at how thick the wool is on my sheep. It's like probably 2.5 inches thick the wool is on that particular one anyway. Most of them are pretty much that thick. That's a lot of insulation. That's what keeps them warm in the winter anyway. Well, a little update on the shop projects. As you can see, something's missing. Got the tractor in here. This bay's open. Sold my pickup. Sent her down the road. I actually sold it back to the guy that I had bought it from originally. When I was in high school, he wanted to buy it back, so I decided to give it back to him. So we got open bay in the shop now. While it's kind of open in here, I think Dad and I were going to try to work on some lights. We've got some, well, they're not new, but they're new to us. They're like old lights from, somebody was like tearing down an office building or something, and Dad got his hands on some old, lights that are newer than those. So we were going to try to get up there and either replace or add. Well, we'll probably end up replacing because these lights are very old. Putting some new lights in here, hopefully that adds some quality to working out here. We're in the process of trying to figure out how we could heat and insulate this shop, but that's probably like maybe a summer project when it's warmer out, so we can get everything out of here and have more room to work. Good afternoon. Man, it's bright. We're out here and we're gonna move the cows, give them a new piece, give them some more hay. But we've got, where the stack yard was, Dad got them all put out, set out, and we had an electric fence around it. And so we're gonna try to get these electric fence posts out of the ground. They're probably froze pretty good, but we're gonna try get them out so the cows aren't running them over and everything out here. And then we're gonna let the cows into this piece so they got some fresh hay. Right now they look pretty content. They're out grazing. It's like 11 degrees today as a high, but the sun's shining and it's nice out and it feels good. Feels pretty good, huh? It's coming. So for those of you who are not quite sure what I mean when I say bale grazing, basically we go out and we set out about 2 weeks worth of hay at a time. So as you can see, we got hay bales scattered all on 3 different pieces out here, so that we can rotate the cows through as they run out of hay. So we got like, it's roughly 10 days to 2 weeks worth of hay that we set out at one time. And then we'll start the cows in one piece, and then as they run out of hay, which they're out of hay now, we're going to move them into the next piece and get them into this next piece and just rotate them through. So the idea of bale grazing is having all of the cows, a big group of cows around one bale concentrated in one small area. And what that does is it creates a biological hotspot, because all of the manure and all of the urine is getting deposited all into one small little space around this bale. And then that creates a biological hotspot, which that small piece of ground is going to do a lot better as far as production, growing grass, soaking up the rain, than any other place is that didn't have that on it. So we try to scatter our bales out in the different places where we haven't had bales before, so that we can slowly cover our whole piece. And we've had really good luck with it. The cows clean up the hay really good. I mean, there's virtually no waste. Here is one little spot right here. Well, you can kind of see them. There's a spot there, 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 here. And as you can see, there's not a lot of waste. They clean it up pretty good. And all of their manure and all their urine in this small circle right here. And the biggest advantage that we've found is that we don't have to start a tractor every day and come out and feed our cows and roll out hay and everything like that. Having it set up like this with 3 different pieces, having 2 weeks worth of hay at a time set out. So Dad goes out for 2 hours a day, like 2.5 at the most. Once every 2 weeks, he'll start a tractor, go out for 2.5 hours at the most, set out 2 weeks worth of hay, and then we're done. We don't have to start a tractor for the next 2 weeks. And we don't have to worry about going out and feeding the cows because they've already got hay out for them. And then, 3 times during that 2 weeks, the cows run out of hay. We come out here, open a gate, and let them into a new piece. And it's worked really good for us. It's saved us a lot of time every day, not having to go out and roll out bales for the cows. And it's also saved us money as far as not having to start a tractor every day, because that fuel bill gets a little expensive when we have to do that. So it's worked good for us. So for those of you that didn't know what bale grazing is, that's my short, rough explanation of it. So the cows are pretty content today. They don't really want to move. They're just happy where they are, grazing. But we kind of want them to move because we want to get a count on them. But we can't get them to. We're trying to call them, but I don't know, they're content, which is good. That means that they got plenty to eat. They're enjoying the warm weather. It's gonna be cold here tomorrow. It's like a high of -4, so it'll be cold. So in the wintertime here at home, our cows water out of the creek. So every once in a while we come down here and make sure they've got it open, and if they don't have it open, we can open a piece for them so they can come down here and get a drink.
A little thicker than it was the other day. So I had this all open here. But
about this right here.
The boards is where it was the thinnest. You can see where it came up down on top.
Yeah, like right here. So these creeks like this, if they're not running constantly and they get froze, they freeze from the outside in. So they start at the bank, although they start at both banks and work their way into the middle and freeze. So the middle, the very middle is like the last part that would freeze. So if it was really super cold, like Antarctica cold, this would freeze solid, but that don't happen very often at all. So usually you can come out here to the very middle of the creek and open a spot for the cows to drink from. But if you were to try on the edge, just on the very edge, you're not gonna have very good luck, because you're gonna have like a solid foot of ice and solid foot, and then solid ice all the way till the middle till you find the water again, because that's the last stuff that freezes. Well, we went and cut a pickup load of wood in preparation for the cold, so we don't have to go out and mess with that when it's going to be so cold the next 3 days here. And I was just looking at the weather. Today's Sunday. A week from today, it's supposed to get down to like 37 degrees at night, and it's supposed to be almost 60 degrees during the day. That's crazy. So that's like a 50-degree difference than it is right now during the day. So I ought to melt some snow and ice and water tanks and stuff like that. It'll be kind of nice. But tomorrow, yeah, this next 3 days is gonna be really cold. That'll be in the next video for you guys. I think this is gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. You guys have been awesome. Yeah, I love seeing the comments if you got questions or whatever, and it's nice to see the comments and have a little conversation with you guys down there in the comments below. And if you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Those two things help us out a lot. And yeah, hopefully we can keep putting out some pretty cool content for you. But yeah, as always, we'll catch you in the next one.